if I can just, I'm not sure if I've changed the game mode 1. Let me just change that to game mode 0. That's it. I've turned monsters off because I don't want them getting in the way and blowing up behind me when I'm trying to demonstrate things. So, but I wanted to, as this whole series is about how you can use turtles in survival mode, that's exactly what I wanted to do. So in order to go mining, we can now use the toolkit. So if I clear that, and we'll put in toolkit, we've got this menu option. This is what I will cover on the next video, is how you can interact with the system so that you can type stuff in and it will ask you things and check things. So the first thing you'll be wanting to do, no doubt, as a survivor in a new world, even if you've already been down, dug some diamonds and got yourself a small turtle, is to get more resources. So the mining is probably the most important. If I hit 1 here, it looks as if, oh, I should just hit create mine, which is number 1. But what this is designed to do is that you use most of these things in order to create your mine. So it doesn't start at the ground and dig down and sort it out there. It's broken up into pieces. So the first thing we need to do is to go to bedrock. So either option 2, ladder to bedrock, or option 4, stairs to bedrock. So what I'll do first is we'll do the ladder to bedrock, show you how it works, and then we can then create our mine, just again to show you how that works. So you can see how why there are 5,500 lines of programming in this particular code. So let's do initially a ladder to bedrock. So if I hit 2, enter, it says place me on the ground, the ladder will start at this level and drop to bedrock, enter to continue. Now this time it wants to know our coordinates so that it can help with the programming of when you use this turtle again and where you are in the mine. So what we need to do, as I'm sure you're aware, is if we press escape and press F3, it'll give us our coordinates. So we are currently on minus 99, 66 and minus 215. I'll see if I can remember that. So minus 99, so X is minus 99, press enter. Y is 66, press enter, and Z is minus 215. Press enter. The last thing it wants to do is which direction are we facing, and it says we're facing north. So we can either type in the north, or we could type in a number. Let's try the N for number. Now you'll notice that there's no actual cursor here waiting for me to type in. That's because this is now going to use an event to register keystrokes. So as soon as I press N, I don't need to press enter. It instantaneously comes up and says your current location is minus 99, 66, 215 facing north, which happens to be direction 2. I think I asked for numbers because on an older version of Minecraft the facing here actually gave this as a number, which it no longer does. It's just north. So that's fine. This was originally worked on Minecraft 1.7.10. So we're facing north. Is this correct? Yes or no? Again, there is no cursor. So if I press N, it will allow us to redo those coordinates, but that's correct. So I'm just going to press the Y, and the moment I press it, now it's gone. So it's saved our level. It just gives us a chance to correct that once more, and this time it's got the cursor there. So we're now not using an event capturing thing, we're actually just doing yes, it is correct, enter. Now it's asked us to add 66 Minecraft ladder to any slots. Now of course, as you can see, I haven't got that in my world. I've got some wood. I'm not sure if that will be enough. but I will need to make some wood, but I may not have enough. So what we can do here is to break out of this and go and use this turtle to mine the tree, or perhaps use the other turtle. So I'll escape from this one, and I've still got that other turtle in my inventory. We'll escape from that, and I'm sure I did, well, I've got the tree farm, but I did spot a tree over here which looked quite substantial. So we can now put into practice the fell tree that we used the other day. There we are. So we'll bang that in front of there, and we'll go fell tree. And this of course will fell the tree. I'm going to pause here because there's no point in making you watch this whole thing. You've seen how it works. Okay, so that's mined the tree. It didn't plant a sapling, so I assume it didn't find any. No, it didn't, but we've now got a further 14 blocks, so we've got plenty to make our ladders with. We could of course create a crafting chest here, but I won't bother. What I'll do in fact is to use this turtle to show you how you can craft things on board. So let's put all of our logs in there, and we'll go into lure, and then we're going to ask it to craft those. Turtle.craft. There we go. And you'll see that it has created 64 logs. Now the interesting thing is, if I place those anywhere, this is the 3 by 3 area that will craft. If I simply move those out of the way, you would have hoped that that would recraft those remaining 10 logs, but if I now test that out, it'll say no matching recipes. So it means, unfortunately, in order to craft inside the turtle, you have to completely clear out everything so that there's nothing, even in the non-normal crafting area, but you've only got it there. So we'll just recraft that one. Good, we've now got tons of planks. Now, you can of course run a little program. If this was already sitting inside the turtle, you can use turtle.transfer to, and you could start to move these blocks around to do things. I won't do that. Well, actually, yes, I'll just do that for this one command. I want to transfer half of these logs to the slot below and then craft on them. So just to show you how this will work, so we've got turtle, and then transfer to, helps if you spell transfer properly. Yep, transfer to, and then this takes 2 arguments. The first one is which slot you want to transfer to, which in my case will be 1, 2, 3, 4, slot 5, and then the second argument is how many you want to transfer. So let's put 20 there and press enter, and you'll see we have now transferred 20 planks to 20 planks. Obviously we want to create a bunch of sticks, so we can now do the turtle.craft again. There he is, turtle.craft, and hopefully that will produce some sticks, and we just need to repeat that because it'll only craft up to a maximum of 64 at a time. So we've now got our sticks, and again I won't bother with the transfer to, we're just going to manually place these in, but of course there's nothing to stop you from doing that with code. So we've now got a bunch of sticks in to make a ladder, so we can call the turtle.craft again, and there we are, we've got 24 ladders. I'm going to pause there because I want to create probably about 70 or 80 ladders to do the bits, and you've seen how it's done. So again, we'll just do a short pause until I've done it. Right, so we've now crafted, using the turtle and the direct lure command, to create quite a few ladders. So we can escape from this, and we'll take our turtle with us. There we go. I chose this spot over here because it's relatively close to the visitor station, and I wanted to keep away from the sea if at all possible. If we're going mining, I didn't want any problems there. So let's because we already got a turtle down here, so yes, I'm getting confused as to which turtle to use here. So we're going to use this one now. So it says add 66 Minecraft ladder to any slots. So if I put those 64 in, and I'm going to just dump it randomly in the middle, you'll see that it automatically changes now. It's recognized that I've put in 64 ladders. So it doesn't matter, I can put more than 2, so we'll do that. Now it wants 64 Minecraft cobblestone. Luckily I've already got some of that, so we'll pop that in. Oh, we're now going. So what it's doing now is it's building. I'm going to switch to creative mode so that we can observe what the turtle is doing. There we go. So it has created a little block barrier for itself, and obviously it's going straight down this column. See if we can, whoops. And at the same time, of course, it's digging resources. Now the reason it's rotating here is for 2 things. First of all, it's checking to see if there are any gaps in here, and it's closing up the gaps. Reason being that if we're digging down to bedrock, we could go through lava, we could go through water, both of which are going to affect us in survival mode, who is trying to go down and follow it. Now the reason I'm following it fairly closely is I wanted to show you what happens when it eventually reaches bedrock. So if I put the F3 coordinates on again so that we can see what's happening here, and we'll follow it down. So we're currently at 46. I was hoping that we would perhaps come across a cavern or water or lava so that we could see what happens, but it doesn't matter if we don't. Now it sometimes digs out things that are of value. It's at the moment ignoring coal, but it will take out, if it sees sand or gravel, it will get rid of that, because that tends to fall on top of you if you're not careful. So far it's accepting all these blocks. Oh, we were now in level 33, so we're still going down. Some of the stones that you see here are standard Minecraft stones, but other times you will find blocks that are introduced as part of the Project Red, which you won't see in vanilla Minecraft. I believe that's copper, tin, silver and some other materials which are useful in the Project Red, but of course you don't find them in vanilla Minecraft. So we're on level 20, still going, as you can see, a long way up. I've kept the options here to have lighting set. It's normally at moody, which I detest. I like mine fully bright so that even in a dark hole like this you can still see what's going on, but of course that's just for personal preference, but it certainly makes filming this thing a lot quicker. We're down to level 10, so we shortly will be hitting bedrock. Bedrock normally starts at level 6 and then it can vary a little bit. Yes, we're on bedrock, I can see it below. So what it's doing now is it's going to test by going forwards and looking all round it whether the bedrock it's hit is at level 6, therefore it doesn't need to go any deeper, or whether it's kind of in some little well of bedrock and it needs to come up or down a few traces. Later on we'll show you what it's done down here. It's created a 6 block long, now it's already coming up now, so I will hit the key. What it's doing now is it's creating a little chamber so that as it comes up it can place ladders for us to climb on. So let's see what's happening down here. Oops, out the way. It looks like it's still struggling to establish the level of bedrock. Oh no, this is now building a chamber at the base of the column. I'd forgotten I'd programmed this in. The last time I remember doing this. Now it's definitely going to be coming up. So yeah, so it's built a little chamber down there for it to use, and it's now placing, you can just about see them, the ladders are now coming up. And it's also building these little steps up so that as you come down in survival mode you can jump across from the ladders. So I'll raise to the top and I'll go into pause mode now so that we don't have to watch this whole process now that you've seen basically what it does until it's finished and appears on the top here. Down, and we'll just... Right, so it's nearly at the top now, so I've just resumed recording and I'll be getting ready to jump out the way, but you can see that it's placing a ladder and creating these little alcoves. In a moment we'll go down and see what how it's done that. Just finishing off, last piece of ladder. There we go. So it's done its job. If we now go down, right click, it says thank you for using Survival Toolkit. It's still got some ladders in there, so we'll take those out. It's got some granite. It's got some coal. Now, one of the things you might be thinking of is, oh, this turtle needs fuel, and we didn't give it any. But in fact, the ones that we picked out of the storage, I have already given 600 units of fuel just to get people started. But that part of that massive program you saw does automatically refuel whenever it finds coal, lava. If you've got a bucket in there and it finds lava, it'll refuel from there. So there is an automatic fuel checking and adjustment, and only if it's used everything it possibly can as fuel and it hasn't got any more, and then it'll sit there with a message saying needs fuel, and if you dump more fuel in, it'll continue with its passage. So let's go down and see what it's done. I'll remain in creative mode for the moment. So you can see it's created these little cubby holes on the other side of the shaft where you could go in and stand if you wanted to, and allows you access to the different levels. And we've got, of course, ladders all the way down to the bottom here, and it has created this little chamber at the bottom where you can go round and explore. And we know, because we saw it, that there's actually a piece of bedrock down here somewhere. So let me just break these for... Yep, there we go. There's bedrock below there. So it's at a nice level at the moment. I'll just replace those with something else. So we've worked perfectly. So that was phase one of the mining. It has dug this shaft and has created these little cubby holes all the way up. And in fact we'll be using these to mine across from this direction and from behind the ladder here, which I'll show you in a moment, so that we can create two areas which are around 33 blocks by 33 blocks each, which takes probably a good half an hour to an hour to mine out. But you can of course run multiple turtles at the same time. So if I just go back up and rescue that turtle. There we go. So I'm going to change back to creative mode, sorry, to survival mode, that's it, so that we can show you how this would work in reality. And we'll go and break, well, first of all I'll remove anything from it, because obviously we've already done that. We'll just go and break it. Okay, it's gone over there, don't lose it, there we are. I'll drop down to the base here and we'll leave it at that for today, and the next video will show you how we'll use the second part of the mining operation, which is to dig a horizontal mine. We might be even lucky and get some diamonds. So I'll just wait till we've got down here so you know where we're starting, and we'll finish at that point.